First Man, a movie about Neil Armstrong going to the moon. Spoiler alert, they kind of skipped the moon landing. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Imagine it being like watching Fake Out Death. I mean, Avengers Infinity War. You get all that up. You get all that build up. They start the fight, and before a punch is even thrown, Thanos snaps and everything's dusted. That's this movie. They literally skip the bloody moon landing. I know they said they're going to leave out the flag part because it would offend other countries because it'd make it about America. But you have a movie about going to the moon and you skip the moon landing. Because here's the thing. Here's the entire scene. There's your spoiler warning for the picture images. They get to the moon, they talk a lot, and you're thinking, because if you've actually watched the moon landing, you know what happens, you know, they get out the ship, they go, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, get down and everything. They talk a lot, they have him rest on the ladder for a bit, they have him look out onto Earth, and then they say one small step for man, and then he steps on the moon. He releases his daughter's bracelet into space, and then they go home. They don't show them collecting rocks or doing any scientific things on the moon. They've literally left the moon landing out of a moon landing movie. That is pathetic. But besides that point, I mean, it's nicely made movie. It's definitely one of those Oscar films. If you want an astronaut movie or something about space or NASA, watch Apollo 13. Watch what do you call it? Space Cowboys. Even though that's not a real historical thing. Or hell, watch Armageddon. Armageddon was closer to space travel and NASA and all that. I mean, I guess this is supposed to be like a bio-documentary about Neil Armstrong. But it's about what he did. It's about the moon landing. Don't call it First Man, call it Neil Armstrong. If you call the movie First Man, then I don't know, have it be the monkey that evolved and stood upright, the first Homo sapien, that'd be First Man. If you're thinking First Man, it'd be First Man on the moon. Even the posters, it shows him in a spacesuit, or it shows them standing on the moon. They bloody left out the moon! On a critical level, I guess I give it like a B. I mean, they show some of the training. They show a lot of his personal life, like his, I didn't know he had a little baby girl that died before he started doing his, trying to go into space program. He was still like a pilot. I didn't know that aspect of his life, so let's learn something new. On a film level, like as a film enthusiast or lover, because if you've watched my reviews, you know that I like quote unquote bad films. Excuse me. I guess I'd give this like a C. There's no sizzle reel moment. There's no moment that makes you want to watch the movie again. There's also no moon landing, but that's besides the point. Sorry. That just really ticked me off. I guess if I was going to make a watchable cut of this, I'd leave the movie alone. I would just edit in the moon landing, actual footage, and cut off the whole him releasing his daughter's bracelet in the space thing and everything. And then cut back to the movie when they get home and he's in quarantine for, like, in case he has moon sickness or something. And so I wouldn't edit the movie at all, except for adding in actual moon landing footage. And, you know, them being on the moon. And, of course, I'd add in the flag thing just because, you know, piss off the libs. Because they make a big deal about, oh, we can't put that in there, take off other people. Then don't watch a historical film if you don't want the historical properties. It's like if Russia made it to space first, we'd have Russia putting their flag on it. And the movie does show that Russia did do a lot of the space stuff first. They were a heck of a lot more advanced than we were. America, obviously. If you didn't know, I'm from America. But, yeah. Sorry for spoiling, but that's literally the movie. They left out the most important part of the movie. It's like, ask anybody, who's Neil Armstrong? If they don't mistakenly think, oh, that guy who wore yellow that rode a bike in France, they're going to say, okay, he's the first man to walk on the moon. Okay. We're going to make a movie, we're going to make a documentary movie about him. We're going to leave that part out. Huh? Yeah, we're going to make it like 5 seconds. Snap, he's off. What? I'm not kidding. If you watch this film, you'll see that how little time this 2-hour and something minute movie spends on the moon. You think they would have at least had them shown him and Buzz walking on it, or at least picking up a rock, because we know they brought moon rocks back because they studied those. You think they would have shown something? Anyways, I guess if you want to watch this film, you can. I'd say red box it. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money going to see it unless you want to see. If you're going for visuals, then yeah, go for the IMAX one, because this movie's one of those ones that visually it's nice. It's like Avatar. Visually, it's a nice movie. Take away the visuals, and it's a generic movie. It's a regular old movie. It's like Doctor Strange. Nice visuals. Take away the visuals. It's no longer on a big 100-foot screen. If the IMAX experience is it's a generic Marvel movie, bad guy dies, good guy survives. You can tell it's going to happen by page in age 5. But so if you like experiences, go to the IMAX. Like some of them do a 4D IMAX, which is when they're doing the one test for being an astronaut, you'll feel that, like the chair moves. I don't know if they did anything like weightlessness, because they do show the no, I might be messing up with Armageddon, because I did watch that recently as well. They might have shown the water thing in this movie. That's how forgettable it is, or at least that's or I'm just that pissed off about the moon landing part. But yeah, they don't really show that much training. He does it once. Well, actually, he does it twice, because he does it, and then he's about to pass out. No, I'll do it again. He does it again. And then they might move it around when he's having the problems in space the first time he goes up. So, if you like visuals, go see it in theaters on an IMAX screen. If you don't care about visuals, you want the story, Redbox. Wait for it to be on HBO if you have the channel. Other than, would I buy this film? Maybe on Black Friday, it was like 2 for $1, $5 bin, maybe. But I honestly don't think I'd ever want to put this movie in and watch it, because it's a drama. It's a movie about It's a movie about a family man that loses a kid, for the most part, because they cut out the NASA stuff. This movie is about a guy whose little girl dies. He gets depressed about that, ignores his son. They have another son, but he ignores him as well. And he tries to do something, and he signs up for a dangerous job because he's that upset about his daughter dying. So he's too pathetic to commit suicide. And he goes and does tries to do something, and then it ends up working. That's basically a gist of the story. Or that's what they made it look like. I don't think he actually did it because he wanted to commit suicide. But the whole movie is he's just depressed about his... I mean, I get it that a kid dies and everything, but you keep living because the other two. You have 2 more children. You don't just stop living because your one died. Or you don't alienate your wife. I mean, I know some people do. But if Neil Armstrong only joined NASA because he was depressed about his daughter dying and he wanted to kill himself... that really paints a bad picture of him. Well, other than that, have a good one, and tell me what you think in the comments below, I guess.